Welcome to our class today, and I have a beautiful, relaxing, restorative yoga class for you today. And we're actually only going to do one pose in the session, and it is one of my favorites. But if you've had a stressful week, or perhaps you have just been crazy all week, then this will be a lovely pose for you just to take a bit of time for yourself. I often find in a yin yoga practice or a restorative practice where we hold the poses for longer, sometimes for me personally it does take a little while for the mind just to calm down. So I do generally like to hold poses for a bit longer than usual. So what you are going to need for today is plenty of cushions off your bed or from your couch, anything that is soft that can prop you up, blankets, towels. And what we are going to do is actually put the pillow, or this is a bolster, we're going to put it at an angle so that you are nice and relaxed. So in a yin yoga practice, we want to have a little bit more sensation than in restorative, but a yin yoga is still gentle. It's just that you can feel the slight discomfort in the body. So restorative, we want the whole body to be completely supported so you can relax fully in that position. Yes, and it's delicious. So what you can do is you can take books or cans of baked beans and stand them up, anything that will help you to prop up your pillow. So like I do say, if you are going to carry on doing classes and stuff, then I highly recommend investing in some of these blocks. You can get some really cheap ones on Amazon or wherever you are in the world. Facebook Marketplace is also a brilliant place to look for these things. So once you come into that position there with your blocks, so you could be stacking books or anything that can slightly elevate you, or even more cushions, but you want your main supportive cushion at an angle. So I'm going to have that, and then just sometimes my neck doesn't like being there. I'm slightly kyphotic, so sometimes I just like to have a little cushion there, and because I'm a princess. So once you come here, so your bum's going to be against the cushion. Lush. And then we'll lie in the shape over here. If you find it's too much on your hips, you can always put more blocks so that the thigh bone can completely relax on the hip, within the hip. So if your legs are up there and you don't put any pillows there, these muscles are still going to be slightly active, where we actually want to switch them off completely. So I do recommend using the blocks. So don't think of the blocks as, oh, it means I'm not good. We really do want blocks with restorative, because when the block supports your thigh, then these muscles can relax, and that is what we're actually after. That's just if you find, so you can see my knees just tend to flump out to the side. Isn't Paula lucky lady? Kidding. So I don't really need blocks. Sometimes I get a bit of a pain in the hip, so you can even take the legs wider or take them a little bit closer together. If this is completely unsuitable for you, perhaps you maybe got arthritis or something, then by all means just have your legs straight, and you can even have the legs bent with the knees together. So again, just pick what helps you to relax, but if possible, be in this position, because the butterfly is about opening up the hip flexors that can get quite tight, and then these hip flexors can also cause back issues. So although we're working with the front of the body, this does actually help the lower back. And then we're just going to settle. So as your head comes down onto your cushion, I'm just going to give you a minute or so just to get yourself ready. So find that point that is comfortable for you. So there doesn't want to be any tension in the hips. If you feel any tension, have something under the knees just to give you that support. The hands can be palms facing up, and you can experiment with where you have the arms. Okay. So unlike a yin practice, a yin yoga, we would try and find that point where there might be a little bit of pulling in the armpit or across the chest. and then we would hold it there. With the restorative practice, we're not after that at all. We really do want the whole body to be completely relaxed and in a fully supported position. And you'll be surprised how nice it does actually feel to have that support all around your joints and your body. So hopefully you are ready. So as you start to come into the first 30 seconds of the pose, I just want you to start to be aware of your surroundings. Maybe you can hear stuff outside or inside. So just allowing your awareness to travel from sound to sound without connecting to those sounds or without getting involved in the sounds. And then drawing your attention a little closer towards your inner walls, the room that surrounds you. Perhaps you can hear sounds around the room. Maybe a clock ticking. Maybe there's somebody else in the house with you and you can hear them. And then bring your awareness towards you on your mat. And just begin to observe the breathing. So when I first started yoga, I found this observation quite challenging. So I used to imagine that I was having an outer body experience. And as I was having this experience, I'd be looking back on my physical body, breathing. So I kind of had to take myself out of myself. And just noticing whether you're breathing in through the nose. So if you're going to try that visualization, just notice if that physical body in front of you is taking a breath in through the nose or the mouth. Do you notice if the collarbones lift slightly? Maybe you can notice how the rib cage expands out to the side and towards the ceiling. And you may or may not notice the belly expand. And as you watch the inhale, the exhale, maybe you notice how the tummy draws in towards the spine. The rib cage gets a little smaller. The collarbones drop. And exhale through the nose. So just follow that path of breath. Inhale, nose. Collarbones lift. Rib cage expands. And tummy expands. And on the exhale, tummy drops down. Rib cage pulls in. Collarbones settle. And exhale, nose. So just carry on with that for a few breaths. Always trying to remain as comfortable as possible. If you feel a little chilly, use a blanket if you need to. So we will be staying here for another several minutes. And I will bring you out of this. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. If your mind starts to wander, just bring your thoughts back to that breath. Also being aware if any tension has started creeping back into the body, hopefully your body's feeling a lot more relaxed. After your next exhale, just let your breath return back to normal. And then taking your hands to the outer thighs and just help the legs up. So from here, popping the elbows down. So again, just be nice and gently as you come out of that. And then if you want to lean forward, just giving yourself a little counter stretch. Oh, excuse me, that's my yoga yawn. I always yawn after a yoga class. So I hope you enjoyed that very calming and relaxing restorative class. Just giving yourself, that was an 8-minute pose that we stayed in there. So you can see just 8 minutes how good you feel after that. So you really don't have to spend hours on your mat. These short little ones are so good for you. So take care, and I'll see you in another one soon.